2022, and we're here for a work session. And as always, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Frank, can you please say please?
Sure, since I'm the only one here right now.
Wonderful.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Frank. I have a few quick announcements regarding Riverhead and the events this weekend. First, a reminder that tomorrow, Friday, beginning at 5 p.m., is the last Alive on 25 for the summer 2022. The weather's looking good, so we're going to encourage everyone to come out and enjoy what's going to be another great night of family fun and live music, local craft beers and food trucks, vendors along Main Street. Once again, thank you to the BID for hosting this incredible events this summer. We're so happy that you are so engaged. And also taking place tomorrow, Friday, the BID will also host their annual, they'll, Reflections in the Art. They'll be hosting their Reflection Art. It's a park series at Ranger Bell Park, and there'll be live jazz music with all types of lit artwork. And again, that's another great event, and we hope to see you there. And lastly, the Riverhead BID will also host their annual cardboard race along the riverfront. Registration and boat arrivals begin at 9 a.m. and on Saturday, and the first race will be going off at 11 a.m. And I can't wait to see what the community has created. Last year was incredible, and it's going to be great fun. And thank you for all those engineers out there who created these vessels out there. And we're going to, the supervisor's office is going to have a vessel there. Still undetermined who's going to be in there, but we'll know by Saturday morning at 11 a.m. And again, we hope to see you at these events. And we're going to move forward, and we're going to go on to our first discussion for today, and it's matters surrounding update to the LIPA pilot payments. I believe we have the assessor's attorney, Scott DeSimone, who's going to be joining us via Zoom, and I'm going to ask Laverne, our senior most assessor, to please come forward and just start off the topic where we are, and then we'll call in Mr. Simone and DeSimone, and thank you for being with us, everyone. Laverne?
So Wes, can I just say, there are people in the audience that were just here from Kanakaki, and they had questions about it, and I believe it's going to be on a future agenda, so they're welcome to stay and listen, but I just don't want, I feel bad if somebody sits here for 2 hours waiting for a topic that's not gonna take place, so.
Well, unfortunately, Devin?
Yes.
Can you come forward, please, for a second and discuss this wasn't a discussion listed, and, to have people come here, and we're still negotiating, trying to work things. Can you just give us an update why this topic wasn't put up on the agenda last week and this week?
So I think last week there were still some discussions that needed to take place between both sides. So I think there was a mutual mood to postpone the discussion.
At the request of Councilman Rothwell?
I think that,
Because the attorneys...
Not this week, where we're ready to
Well, that was
discuss.
last week, okay.
and
well,
then
that's
this week we were missing 2 board members. So again, the mood was to wait until we have a more complete board to have a discussion, I
Yes.
think, about that.
And
just
this
like-
effort is being supported by Councilman Hubbard, and I think that he should be part of this discussion, and that was explained. And so it's not the topic, it's not on this week, and
It's not on this week, and I did just explain to the
But
folks.
Just letting people know that.
in the
it's here,
audience that-
they don't need to wait for, till the end of our work session.
but why
It's not
did you
gonna be
call
good.
them in without
I
discussing,
didn't
without?
call anybody in, they're just residents here to
Yeah,
listen in.
I just
and-
chatted
and-
with those folks
and-
about that and just explained
Okay,
that
good.
certainly they're welcome to stay, but that it is not on the agenda for
Yes,
today.
and-
all I'm
yeah,
asking.
we need to
That's all.
sort things through. We have some, we're working with the attorney's office. We do support this process, but we're gonna make sure that we get it right. And thank you for supporting it also. Appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Okay, what's
All right.
next?
Let's go. Laverne, can you just please introduce the topic? Okay, you want the town attorney to discuss it? Perfect. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Supervisor. Good morning, Councilman. How are we doing?
Very well.
All right. So we are here for an update on the prior discussion regarding the outstanding pilot payment from LIPA. Since our last meeting, last work session discussing this issue, we have had a conference call with Scott DeSimone, and we came up with a plan with a couple of the councilmen, Kern and Rothwell, and our financial administrator to put together sort of an offer for a, one-time agreement to seek to collect this.
Okay, can you
in a way,
expand on collect this is what? We're talking
collect
about
the
payment
outstanding amounts.
going to certain districts, fire and
Well,
library.
okay, so LIPA's position is, they're prepared to pay, whatever it was for the 2021 tax year. That's not necessarily our position in the context of pending litigation, but in order to get our special districts what they were expecting to receive for the 21-22 tax year, we agreed to, seek to collect that on their behalf, and what essentially we were looking for is a waiver and a hold harmless for our financial administrator in terms of the collection and the distribution. And so we came up with that plan, and Scott worked on all of that paperwork and communications with the special tax districts. So at this point, I would refer to Scott for a more detailed description of what he did.
Okay, I'm glad that we're moving on, because I know I received 2 letters from LIPA, and I've been working internally. It hasn't been reported properly, but I've been working internally to try to see what's going on with the assessor's office. Finally, I think we got a direction where it's going. I'm just a little concerned. Is this a yearly request that they're gonna make? Because apparently the letter that was sent out said it's a one-time only payment, and what happens next year? These districts need their money and their funds, and I don't know if we, the town, should put, the attorney works for our town, right?
My
That we should
reaction
put
to that is because there's pending litigation, and we don't really want to get into the details of that right now. This proposal was intentionally and specifically limited to 21-22 tax year collection.
So, that litigation is not relating for them to get paid, correct? It's the amount. So, we're talking right now as to we the town, and it's our responsibility, if that's what LIPA wants, to not stop the funds going to the appropriate districts.
Well, I'm gonna let Scott
Okay,
go into a little more
Perfect.
detail on that.
okay. Good morning. Oh, voice?
Conversation in a work session, we should be in executive session discussing this, because our litigation position and strategy is very much intertwined in this conversation. So there's very little that I would be willing to say to you in an open work session.
Okay, that's fine, but we have a representative from the fire district here who represents all the fire districts, and he wanted this to come before the board. Chuck, did you want to come up?
Can I give the board a little background on this?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so
Right.
when the time came that the town, myself, the assessors decided that we would make what was formerly tax payments, we would make them, the town opted to leave the transmission and distribution properties on Roll Section 5 and Roll Section 6 and make them exempt, but leave them where they are, as opposed to where most of the towns have moved their T&D, the LIPA T&D properties, to the exempt portion of the roll, where you would find all of like town-owned property, county-owned property. We didn't think that that was appropriate, but in any event, we made them exempt this year. That is what the court decision found, that the LIPA T&D, and that's transmission and distribution properties, are exempt from taxation, but that LIPA has an obligation to make pilot payments. Now, that is all what the statute says. That's all it says. It's very, very short, neat little statute. maybe it's 10 lines, and it says that they'll make pilot payments. It doesn't say that the town, on behalf of the taxing jurisdictions, will bill them, collect the money, and distribute them, okay? It doesn't say that, all right? Now, much like, and I'm assuming everyone understands what a pilot payment is, similar to the IDA, every town is different, the county is different in how they bill pilots, but they're not being sent out typically by the tax receiver. And the assessor has nothing to do with this other than to create their taxable status, in this case being exempt. So, with that said, very early on in this process, I prepared, okay, and billed this town a significant amount of money, prepared invoices for each of the taxing jurisdictions well before the tax collection date, January 10th. They got it in December. And we prepared a cover letter, we prepared a single invoice for each taxing jurisdictions and sent it with instructions and said, send this to LIPA and demand payment, okay? I put it in a nice little, neat little bow. Now, why some of them did or didn't do it, I have no idea, all right? Then, when some of them did or didn't do it and LIPA refused to pay, they came back and complained to the town again, okay? That, oh, we don't know what we're doing, we don't know what it is to, you know, to build pilots, blah, 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 blah. So again, after the council people came to us and asked us if we could try and just help them out this year and try and get that money collected, I again prepared letters and bills and an agreement and said, okay, fine, the town will do this, but everybody has to be on board. And the feedback that I've gotten has been that Jamesport was interested. I don't know that they returned the paperwork. North Shore Library District returned the paperwork, signed. The Riverhead Fire District returned the paperwork, signed. And I had a phone conversation with the school district attorney for both Riverhead and Shore-Wading River, who was unwilling, it seemed, to suggest to his clients that they should sign it. So we prepared all that. We gave them 2 weeks to return the documents, and you know, an overwhelming minority responded. So that's where we're at. So we've done everything we can possibly do, I think, for the taxing jurisdictions to assist them in capturing these payments. But the problem is not that it's not with necessarily the districts and the way they build. It's with LIPA who refuses to pay. They're saying they're willing to pay, but they're refusing to pay. We have given them every single piece of information that they need, never mind pilot statements, to pay these bills, and they refuse. And they refuse because, and this is what has been told to me, is that this will set a precedent countywide that if they don't get a pilot invoice for each parcel with the taxing jurisdictions listed on it, so it's one pilot statement per parcel, that they're not paying the bill. Well, the statute doesn't say that. So this is with LIPA, it's not with the town. They refuse to pay. And the next step should be for this town is to commence litigation against LIPA to capture that money.
All right, great, thank you for explaining it, and I agree with you. As far as our approach with the litigation, that does belong in executive session. However, when you file the documents with the court, that's all open record, and we can discuss, especially when there's funds concerning our fire districts. I need to drive home that it's important that these issues get resolved by the town. These fire districts and then these fire departments, they're volunteers, and they need to continue to function. And so that's where we are with the dilemma. And, Chuck, did you wanna,
First of all, I
Well,
just want to thank everybody who participated in helping us get to this point. Laverne, I started there because that's where I thought I needed to go, and it's morphed into a lot more, as Scott has just explained. So thank you all for that. Jamesport Fire District and the rest of the Riverhead Town Fire Districts are happy to sign this. The part that caused us pause was the one-time only clause. There is a possibility that we could be standing here again this time next year, and if we don't have the power of the town behind us, we're helpless, okay? Thank you for the documents that you sent out. I'm just looking for, I know we can't have a written agreement, and I know it would weaken any position we would have with LIPA going forward as far as the town and us resolving this by a written document, but I just want to put it out there and see what your feeling is. If we're stuck here again next year, the willingness to help us get this resolved.
absolutely. As a town, we need to protect our fire departments.
And the school district.
And the school
I'm
district,
shocked the school district isn't here. I mean, we're the little guys on the block. The school district is $1 million. I'd be knocking, I would be here. So not quite understanding their position. That has nothing to do with me. I'm worried about my fire district and the fire districts in the town of Riverhead. So I just really wanted to talk about, going forward. Not, I know we can't have a written agreement, but just, the willingness of the town, and you always are helpful, so wanted to bring that up.
Thank you for caring, and coming in today so we can clarify again. We owe it to the fire districts and the fire departments and the volunteers. And I beg to differ on one point with you, where you stated that we're the little guys in the block. When there's a kid in the crib in the second floor building and everything they can't get down, you're a hero. And thank you for your work.
I'll be there. Thank you.
Anyone else on this matter?
No, I think we should get them their money as soon as we can, and
That's it.
and then discuss further litigation strategies in executive session.
That's correct,
Yeah.
and that's where it belongs, and, but fire districts need their money, and they want it forward, and they have every right to be here and to ask for it, and thank you for everyone who worked on this. Finally, we're getting getting it resolved. It's been, since quite a while, few months, that this is going back and forth, who's responsible, who doesn't want to be part of it, and so I'm glad that there's a temporary resolution, and hopefully this is going to continue. So we're going to move on to our next.
Madam Supervisor, may I just say that it would probably be in the best interest of the town and all of the taxing jurisdictions to bring a lawsuit against LIPA to compel them to make these payments. And it can be brought as one lawsuit. It would be judicially economical to do that. And I have no problem, I'm sure the town attorney would have no problem leading that litigation on behalf of the school districts and the other taxing jurisdictions. But if you do go down that road, we're not gonna be talking about this next year because there's no court. I do not think there's a court that's not gonna issue an order compelling them to make these payments.
Okay, so maybe, Eric, you can have a conversation with them as far as litigation?
I've made a note to do that.
Great, thank you, I appreciate it. Again, I'm glad that it's hopefully getting resolved finally. All right, we're gonna move on to our next discussion, and I'm gonna ask, well, you're already here, Eric, Howard, and to brief us on the current status of the solar moratorium. I know that I put that forward.
Can I just make an announcement? I am not going to participate in this.
Okay.
I will stay at the dais. I've already recused myself from all
In the past,
discussions in the
correct.
past on solar, and I will be here just to make sure that we have a quorum at the dais, if that works. Is that amenable?
We're not making any
Okay.
decisions here right now, so. This is really just to bring the board up to speed as to where we're at.
Yes, but,
so-
well, it's still, right,
Right,
it was,
so,
yeah.
so chapter 302 was adopted last year. And it was filed with the Secretary of State on October 26th of 2021. So there is a provision of the moratorium, it's down at 302-5. It says that this chapter shall expire after 12 months unless it is extended by the town board after adoption of a subsequent local law. So really, I just wanted to bring this to the attention of the board and say, you know, we only have well, aside from next week, we have 4 meetings, town board meetings left until October 26th of 2022.
Right.
So, if we have to have a public hearing, wanted to get some direction from the board as to whether we should propose a local law to extend it.
As the creator of this legislation, I'm gonna hope that the board supports me, that we continue with the moratorium, take the necessary steps, and we are also in the process of creating an updated comprehensive plan, and we're also working on another zoning concern, so I think extend it, and do I have your support?
I'd like to hear about the work that has been done over the last year, so before we extend the moratorium, so tell me about what we've discovered over the last year while we've been reviewing this. So I haven't heard any reports or any discussions about it, so I'd like an update before we just continue to extend something without any knowledge behind it. So I'd see, like to know what we've learned so far.
That's a fair point. I would want to bring in Jefferson and just ask if we had anything from our prior, anything that was put together in connection with the work that's already been done on our comprehensive plan update, on solar specifically.
Well, the plan is not ready yet, and it can be changed at any time.
Well,
So,
yeah.
yes,
But if there
that's
was,
one issue.
but if there was any research, done
Yeah,
on
where's
that.
Jeff? Did you want to come forward? No? And basically, the moratorium is just extending no more solar until certain things are resolved. And there's definitely too much solar right now in Calverton, so that has to be addressed.
So,
Hi, good morning.
good morning.
Good morning.
As you recall, we had a planning consultant preparing the comprehensive plan update. One of their charges was to research and review, analyze this very issue. As you know, they are no longer employed by the town, and their lack of research analysis on this topic is one of the reasons why they're no longer employed by the town.
Yes. And we're in the we're getting very close to select
Correct. Another consultant.
another consultant. The board will select them, and so hopefully by next week, we might have designations.
Yes.
And there's been no applications, correct?
No.
No applications, so I'm gonna propose that we continue the moratorium.
That would be staff's recommendation as well.
That would be your staff recommendation?
Yes.
So, Eric, can we extend it for another year?
We can, we
Or
would
can
need,
we do
we would need
6
to,
months and wait for the,
well, we would need to adopt, well, according to chapter 302-5, we can extend, shall expire, and when the time period is extended after adoption of the subsequent local law. Yeah, so the term of that extension, is left, open-ended in the language of the statute, in the language of our code that was previously adopted. So,
I'm sorry, can you backtrack? What's in the language?
So, chapter 302-5, this chapter shall apply for a period of 12 months
Okay.
from the effective date hereof. This chapter shall expire after said 12-month period unless and until this time period is extended by the town board after adoption of a subsequent local law. So that doesn't specifically say, whether the time period is extended for, another year or another 6 months
Right.
or another year and a half. So that could be open-ended. In putting together a proposed subsequent local law on this, I would want to sort of canvass the rest of the town board members and find out what their thoughts are on that time period, simply because we have only the four meetings left before this expires, we will have to schedule and hold a public hearing.
Okay, so, you can canvass them online and, or through phone call, you'll have my support. Do you wanna move forward to extend the moratorium?
I just, my concerns are that it has been a year, and when you put a moratorium in place, the idea is to learn and discover. And I would have thought by now, we would be having a report from our planning department, Village State, what they have learned and what impacts it's going to have. If we're not, so is the answer that no one in the town is studying this at all, and we're just relying on an outside source to provide us information, and we no longer have that group in place, so
In the paragraph dealing with intention of the moratorium does specifically reference the ongoing comprehensive plan update, and that AKRF was hired to do that. So, because that was, part of what they were supposed to be working on and then ultimately giving us in terms of an actual update, I think if there wasn't anything done on that, or if there isn't, a tremendous amount of substance to what they did do, then I think that extending it until we have, I don't know if we need a final plan, or until we get enough information that we're comfortable moving forward with, letting the moratorium expire.
So do we have a better time frame when we expect our new master plan to be done? Comprehensive plan?
Well,
Is it 6 months out, or is it a year, is it a full another year out, or?
I can't forecast that, because we haven't settled on a new person to come in at this point.
Right, and that's gonna be settled next week. We have 3 possible, candidates, and, that's gonna be brought to you, to the board to decide. And that would be a great question to ask, the person who's selected, the group that's selected to complete it. So that's a good question. However, in the meantime, we still have to deal with the moratorium. Right?
So then,
It expires by its language after a year unless we do something else. So if we do nothing, it expires.
I support it. I think we should go forward. I don't know what there is to learn. Obviously, we're gonna learn from the update. The planning department has, agreed that we should extend it. We're in the process, coming very close to get, to have, a designated, new company is gonna come in, so I think we should extend it. And so Eric, if you can just please, poll the board if we should go forward, and,
I would say, I believe in this instance, it would be good practice to put something up and have a public hearing. After that public hearing, whether we move forward and adopt something to extend it, okay? Otherwise, based on the feedback we get there, or based on, whatever we learn from some of the candidates that we have lined up to come into the comprehensive plan update, maybe we just don't adopt a subsequent local law and it does expire, and
okay,
so,
And that's-
I say, let's go through that process and allow the public forum to come in and make comments on it.
absolutely, and that's the purpose of the public hearing, right? Is
Yep.
to gather information from both sides and see where we're gonna go. So right now, we're not saying we're gonna extend it, and obviously, there's a process that we need to take, and so I support the process, absolutely.
Okay.
Good. Thank you so much. Have a good day, Eric.
Oh, thank you.
All right, this is gonna conclude our discussions for today, and I'm gonna ask Devin to come up and please read the resolutions. Good morning.
Good morning. Everybody ready?
I think we are.
Okay, guys. Resolution number 1 appoints a town investigator. Resolution number 2 appoints a senior town investigator. Resolution number 3, sewer capital project number 20038, First Baptist Church closure. Number 4, sewer capital project number 20049, 211 East Main Street closure. Number 5, sewer capital project 20050, Metro Group closure. Number 6, sewer capital project number 81902, Sergeant's Recreational Center closure. Number 7, authorizes the supervisor to issue a letter to the Suffolk County Department of Health Services authorizing the use of Pine Barrens credits originating from property located in the town of Riverhead Firefly Trust. Number 8, accepts the resignation of a water treatment plant operator 2B. Number 9, authorizes the supervisor to issue a letter to the Suffolk County Department of Health Services allowing the use of Pine Barrens credits originated from property located in Riverhead, 4155 Veterans LLC. Number 10, ratify authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement with Flynn Stenography and Transcription Services. Number 11, grant special permit for Dries Specchio Manufacturers Outlet Center, 2009 Old Country Road, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-118-3-7. Number 12, waive fee for use of showmobile by Riverhead Polish Hall. Number 13, authorizes the supervisor to execute a 6th addendum nunc-pro-tunc to professional services agreement for placement of commemorative items at Grumman Memorial Park. Number 14, ratifies the appointment of a call-in assistant recreation leader to the Recreation Department. Number 15, adopts a 2-tier rate structure table for the Riverhead Water District. Number 16, amends resolution number 259-2022. Number 17, approves special event Chapter 255 application for AAECF Inc. Motown fundraising concert. Number 18, authorizes the town clerk to advertise bid for fiber optic cable installation. Number 19, ratifies the appointment of a water treatment plant operator. Number 20, assumes lead agency status, issues a negative declaration pursuant to SECRA, and adopts a local law to amend Article 16, Chapter 301-83 of the Town of Riverhead Town Code to allow single-family dwellings in the Business PB zoning use district. Number 21, ratifies the authorization for the supervisor to execute a stipulation with the CSEA, C Local 1000, AFS-CME, AFL-CIO, the Riverhead Town Police Benevolent Association, and the Riverhead Town Police Superior Officers Benevolent Association. Number 22, authorizes town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 211, Article 3, Section 14 of the Riverhead Town Code, authorizes publish and post for Chapter 211, Amendment B1. Number 23, amends Resolution Number 265, adopted on April 2nd, 2019, and sets purpose, membership, terms, and quorum procedures, and appoints and reappoints members. Number 24, authorizes roof repair at Senior Center funded by American Rescue Plan Act funds. Number 25, approves special event Chapter 255 for Island Water Park Corp. Long Island Zombie Shoot. Number 26, authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with the County of Suffolk Office for the Aging AAA Transportation Program. Number 27, authorizes the Community Development Department to apply for water grants for the Water District infrastructure for the Riverhead Water District, Forge Road Extension 97. Number 28, secret determination for Riverhead Water District Emerging Contaminants Distribution Project, Forge Road Extension 97. Number 29, authorizes the Community Development Department to apply for a New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, WIIA grant for infrastructure improvements to the Riverhead Water District for a ground storage tank. Number 30, secret determination for Riverhead Water District ground storage tank project. Number 31, authorizes the Community Development Department to apply for a New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, WIIA grant for infrastructure improvements to the Riverhead Water District Well 2 and Well 5-1. Number 32, secret determination for Riverhead Water District Well Number 2A. Number 33, secret determination for Riverhead Water District Plant 5-1 improvements. Number 34, authorizes the Community Development Department to apply for grants for water district infrastructure for the Riverhead Water District Emerging Contaminant Project, Riverhead Water District extensions numbered 94 Manorville, 95 River Road, and 96 Calverton. And number 35, secret determination for Riverhead Water District Emerging Contaminants Distribution Project, Emerging Contaminant Project extensions 94, 95, and 96.
The water district
Activity.
resolutions.
A lot of activity.
Hopefully we get some of these grants to be able to
Yeah,
do some of the work on the infrastructure. That'd be great.
it's important. All right, anyone else? Good? 11, and this is going to conclude our open discussions for today. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you for a first and a second to enter into executive session to discuss the following: personnel, disciplinary of an employee, and that would be with Chief Hegemiller. And on the legal side, matters surrounding, related to authorizing legal action on a private residence, and that's going to be with Howard and Hurley. And thank you, everyone. Hopefully, we're going to see you at all these events this weekend. Be safe. Can I have a first and a
So
second?
moved.
So I'll be the second.
All right, we're going to go into executive session, and thank you. So moved?